today. From M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Fourth rounder out of LSU, Cade York, has this one teed up, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Right to the air is Jackson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do. But when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sione Takitaki able to drop him for a loss of a couple. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Jackson. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And he makes it so difficult for all defenses because when he's got the ball, it's hard to say when a play is truly over because he can create from any spot on the field and in any situation, even when it appears that he's contained. When he's running your offense, a big play could arrive from any possible spot.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 16, Watson. This complete to David Bell. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. Now Watson. Got an open man, it's Schwartz. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. James Prochet deep for Baltimore. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on third down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there, and he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. The quick feet by Jackson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. Jackson running again. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
2nd down, here's an option right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 12-yard line. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Jackson, option right. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked in and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They run it again with Chubb. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. 1st down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Watson. Caught here by Bell. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Watson now to throw. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Just a gain of a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Watson. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. from the gun, Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A gain of 22.
Well, I don't want to be a jinx partner, put the whammy on him, but I think we could be looking at all-time damn the ground with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard game, and he's halfway there just in the first quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
Jackson going to hold on to it again. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Anthony Walker up behind the line and finishing that play off.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Jackson from the shotgun. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. His throw incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again is Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down. No problem there. They get the first by plenty on 4th and inches.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Working with his 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now it's Watson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Browns are an extra point away from evening this one up. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another run here with Dobbins. Trucks over him. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now it's Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Again, Jackson will keep it. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. A stoppage here for an injury, and not what you want to see. J.K. Dobbins in a little bit of pain after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Jackson. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 26. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Well, another fine run right there from Lamar Jackson and CD. That one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? With Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in a season as the top running backs in the league.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Jackson, options out left. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jordan Elliott, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll look to throw here. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
It's really something special when we see a quarterback top 100 yards in one half of football. And if he keeps up this pace in the second half, the NFL record for single game rushing by a QB is certainly in sight.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This a 43-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. The offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Watson. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Again, it's Edwards. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and short, Drake. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one goes for 8 yards.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Jordan Stout now. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Browns set to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
From the 22, Watson, and that's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw is Watson. Quick throw, and he's got Amari Cooper. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Ravens offense back out there. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. After the interception, here's Jackson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson now. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd and 1, Jackson finds his man over the middle. It's likely. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Jackson will throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. From the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Watson on first down. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
first down. Watson. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the opposite of what they envisioned when they left that locker room, a turnover on the opening drive of this third quarter.
I like your identification there because that's exactly what they discussed in the locker room before they came out on the field. Let's get the ball. Let's go down and score, put some points on the board, and feel good about it. Not an insurmountable lead, but definitely not how they saw it at halftime.
They'll start with the option, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Jackson going to run again. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. But not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw is Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now they run the option on 2nd down. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. .42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Second down at 4. And they run with Edwards off the option.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 23-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Off the option, here's Edwards.
And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This one from 35 yards away. Tucker's kick is good. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, what, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Cleveland offense making their way out. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
But obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
We're in Baltimore. Third quarter action. 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he'll just get rid of it.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Jackson to throw. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They go up the middle with Chubb. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Watson. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. Watson hooking up with Cooper there for the Cleveland 1st. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Watson. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Watson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Calais Campbell able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Watson. He's got the connection to Cooper. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Watson, and that is incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This is a 26-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through.
And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball running it, but not in that situation. I mean, I think we got an example of why NFL coaches really don't like their quarterback in the running game.
Because whether he keeps it or not, he's likely going to take a hit, isn't he?
No doubt about it. And defenses, they're looking to put that hit on a quarterback.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That is his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call, because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 44.
48 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Watson going to keep it again.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones there to make the grab. And the Browns are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The York on now for the extra point. It's up and good, and they take the lead by a point, 17-16. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter, and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That's taken in by Duvernay.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Jackson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
And on 3rd down, the Browns going to go with a nickel set. Jackson.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. Play action. Now Jackson. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They go play action now. Jackson rolling to his left. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Play action. It's Jackson. And it's caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up. Give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Jackson's going to keep it.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Ravens answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
On the return from his end zone is Grant. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So now it's Watson and the Browns. Down by 5, 2:07 remaining. They'll have 1 play, maybe 2, before the 2-minute warning as they've got a 1st down.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn into a big gain.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Here's Watson. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Tucker's kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more, but this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of 8, and defensively they'll say you can have that.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Watson trying to get his guys moving. Now Watson. Into the hands of Cooper. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.